explaining that her mana has increased after eating so many gem rats. Thinking about it, the demon figures that this mutation has only increased her lifespan, so he accepts it as a blessing. From that day onward, the magic school starts growing at an incredible rate, thanks to the mother cat's teaching and the experiences learnt from the demon dungeon. After several years, the school produces countless great mages, one of whom happens to be Anne herself. Over the years, she gains a reputation as the Froststorm Witch, known for her terrifying icicle and lightning attacks. Eventually, Anne returns to the Magic Academy as a teacher. All of the new students have heard about her reputation, so they curiously watch her in secret. The mother cat has also returned with her. She first heads into the training hall, where she greets the old professor who worked with her. After years of new contributions, the old man has become the principal of the academy. He welcomes the mother cat back home, who thanks her for taking care of the greater demon and his dungeon all this time. Sensing her presence, the greater demon appears below the mother cat in his cat form. The mother cat smiles at him, explaining that she was just coming to visit him in the dungeon. The demon gets angered, since he thinks the dungeon is too dangerous for her. However, the mother cat gets offended and insists that she can handle herself against the demons. She gets angry and starts schooling him in front of the principal, so the embarrassed demon drags her into the dungeon. There, he reminds the mother cat that he's still a feared demon in the human world with a reputation to uphold. Although the mother cat agrees to give him some more respect in public, the demon realizes she isn't serious at all. Afterward, it's time for Anne to give her introductory speech to her new students. Despite having so much experience, she still feels extremely nervous when faced with an audience. As the eager students look forward to her words, the pressure is too much for Anne to take, so she completely chokes on her words. Thankfully, the mother cat appears by her side and reassures the kids that she's a great teacher. She also reveals that she raised Anne as a kid and offers to teach the kids anything her daughter can. After giving Anne a chance to breathe, she asks her to give her speech, so she smiles and finally starts speaking. A few days later, one of Anne's students feels upset after failing an exam. She wonders why she can't pass, so Anne tells her she doesn't have enough mana. This only discourages the poor girl, so Anne explains that her own mana used to be weak as well. However, after regular practice with her spells, she was able to increase her mana to her current capacity. The student takes her advice and heads to magic practice the next day. She feels surprised after seeing Anne and the mother cat waiting for her, and tears up from their support. The student thinks she doesn't deserve so much special attention, but Anne reassures her that she's got what it takes. The mother cat nods, proudly bragging about her accomplishments with Anne. She embarrasses the poor teacher in public, revealing that Anne could only use tiny ice pebbles back in the day. It was only thanks to the mother cat's strict education and training that Anne grew to her current peak. After hearing this, the student gains even more motivation, and she starts working hard. Anytime she gets tired, Anne and the mother cat encourage her to keep training to develop her stamina further. The next day, the student visits the training ground for another training session. However, her secret somehow got out in class, so some other students join her to experience their teacher's private care. After several weeks of intense training, the students revisit the dungeon to attempt their challenge. From the fruits of their hard work, they complete the final level and celebrate their victory. For some reason, the greater demon appeared in front of them as a stone statue, so they wonder why he isn't using their cat form, trying to aura farm as the final boss. The poor demon is left in shambles by their non-serious attitude. He finally shows them his cat form, feeling completely humiliated. Meanwhile, back in school, the principal praises Anne for her great efforts. She smiles, accepting his gratitude, and suggests adopting some new policies to improve their school's learning environment. Anne thinks that the students should start accepting real jobs from guilds as a way of gaining experience. Although the principal agrees that the experience will be invaluable for the students, he reminds her that she'll be involving their school with several external organizations. Still, Anne doesn't get discouraged, and she offers to negotiate the deals through the royal court. After the deal is finalized, her school starts officially sending its students away for internships. Since the internships involve real danger, the students are told to use flares to alert their teachers. When the first flare shoots through the sky, Anne is the first one to teleport and rescue her students. Afterward, the students return from their jobs, some of them successful, while the others sulk from failure. Regardless of their results, Anne feels extremely happy. With tears in her eyes, She congratulates everyone for taking their first steps towards becoming adult mages. A year later, it's time for all of the students to graduate, and they leave on a high note, excited for their future. As the years pass, the mother cat accompanies Anne, watching her magic school transform into one of the greatest institutions of the land. Several decades later, the forest dragon continues to raise the local cats. After years of living with them, the local cats have given him the name of Mr. Wing. One day, two couples of cats visit Mr. Wing's cave, planning to give birth under his protection. However, one of the female cats has an injured leg. She explains that some human hunters hurt her, so Mr. Wing gets enraged, thinking that the humans have gotten arrogant again. He flies, ready to rip the hunters into pieces. However, when he arrives, he finds the hunters being terrorized by other cats. When the dragon sees this, even he forgets his rage from the confusion. Then, he starts yelling at the cats for punishing the hunters, instead of taking care of the pregnant cat. The cats shrink back at his warning, still trying to convince him that the hunters deserve their punishment. Mr. Wing agrees, but after he learns that these humans are not from the nearby kingdom, he understands why they fearlessly attacked the cats. He points out that if the cats killed these hunters in the forest, their homeland might fight with the nearby kingdom. To avoid getting his friends in trouble, Mr. Wing tells the cats to take the hunters to a nearby village for legal punishment. The cats accept his decision and leave, so Mr. Wing also returns to the cave to help the pregnant cats. When he gets back, both male cats are panicking for their wives. Thankfully, the babies are born without a problem. After the babies are out, some juvenile cats watch them play around. The cats find them cute, but Mr. Wing warns them that the babies might outgrow them if they slack off from their training. At his warning, the cats agree to train diligently, and they leave the cave to hunt. Meanwhile, one of the baby cats gets interested in Mr. Wing's claw. He attacks the claw with all his might, trying to break it off. Watching his energetic child, the father cat thinks he'll become an excellent hunter in the future. 2 months later, the babies are close to weaning. Now, the mother cats feel rested and ready to hunt while Mr. Wing looks after their babies. The little claw cat is still fixated on Mr. Wing's claw. He keeps trying to steal it, hanging from it like a human. Watching him stand on his 2 legs, the cat's parents wonder if he'll live with a human in the kingdom. Mr. Wing thinks about this, recalling that all the cats who went into the kingdom chose a human partner with a good heart. However, he still thinks that it's very dangerous to trust a human, no matter how trustworthy they may seem. Because of this, he warns the cat never to live with humans. As the cat continues to bite his claw without a single thought, he realizes his words are falling on deaf ears. A few months later, the baby cats have fully grown up. Mr. Wing takes them out of the cave to teach them some magic. First, he demonstrates his shape-shifting magic, turning himself into his cat form. As the cats stare in awe, Mr. Wing explains that shape-shifting can be used to transform into anything, even if it's bigger than their own body. Then, he tries to teach them how to hunt. The cats seem more interested in his new feline body, so the dragon reminds him to get down and behave. He explains that in order to hunt, the cats must find prey they want to eat. Then, they should take it down and kill it before eating. He also reminds them that prey animals don't come for free. Since every animal wants to live, the prey would struggle to protect itself, so the cats need to learn how to fight. After this explanation, Mr. Wing suddenly turns into a murderous bear. In an instant, all of the cats scream and hide in the bushes behind them. Mr. Wing approves of their actions, pointing out that prey animals flee from their predators in a similar way. He also notices one of the cats standing its ground, ready to fight for its life. He then turns back into his cat form, preparing to teach the cats how to use magic. Noticing the claw cat standing behind him, Mr. Wing asks if he got hurt by his bear transformation.